Now let's try and put those exercises together. Slow down. Your speed is going to come from doing less. Right now, you want to practice perfection. If you practice bad habits, you're going to perform bad habits. Remember, you're trying to imprint muscle memory so you don't have to think about it. Your body automatically goes to that parry. Later on, when you come up to a performance tempo and you have to adjust to your partner's varying rhythm, and then you have to work with whatever the surface is like and the kind of shoes you might be wearing in costume, all of these things, you're not going to have time to be making adjustments. You've got to know it. This is the time that you practice. This is the time you rehearse. Slow down. Do less. Awareness only comes from relaxation. The less energy you utilize, the less you have to control, the more relaxed you're going to be, the more aware you're going to be. So we want to put together both halves of that exercise, and then we're going to build on that. Bob, could I have you in, please? So we'll check our distance. We'll drop the hand so the tip is out of our face, and we're going to begin from distance, just moving into this perfect cutting range. Okay, without movement, high line. Good. To the low line. Now, right here, I'm going to notice that all I have to do is drop the hand and move over to 45 degrees. Good. I'm going to extend and then squeeze. Over here, I'm going to drop the elbow. It's very fast because I'm not moving very far, but don't go fast right now. Slow down. Be aware of what you're doing. Good. And right here, I extend. Now here, because I'm going into the low line, I'm going to lift my hand, and the blade will automatically pick up anything that's threatening me. Good. And once again, I will bring this arm over until my upper arm points at my partner. I will extend my arm, and then and only then will I squeeze the fingers. Good. And here, I offer it to him. I prep early by dropping the tip. Good. And all I have to do is move straight across until my upper arm again points at him. Now notice, one last time on this, how my upper arm stays in this position. Very little movement. All right, and with a little relaxation, I can now allow the arm to retract because my positions are very exact. And then we would trade. All right? Bob, let's try this from a slightly different angle so they can see that. That's right. Good right there. Good. Distance and engage. And Bob's going to take the head cut. Once again, I fully extend. I bring my entire arm the height I want it to be at. Squeeze the fingers, turn the hand, leave the arm, let the blade fall, and lift me up into my 5 parry. To the low line, I'm going to drop my body a little bit and extend so my whole arm is level with just under his belt, right at the top of the hip. Back to the high line. So you do the 2 highs first and the 2 lows. One last time. Do less. Extend. Notice how early I am protecting myself. So I can delay until just the last instant because I'm already protected. All right? Good. Then the same thing with movement. Let's move to this angle, Bob. So from here, distance, I will step in. Good. High line. High line. Low line. And Bob will chase me back doing the same part of the drill. Notice how the arm extends before the fingers squeeze. Good. Practice. Slow down. Be specific. Aspire to perfection. Remember, if you practice bad habits, you're going to perform bad habits. Work on it. Let's start testing your skills with a different exercise. This is called the X in 4. I begin by drawing an imaginary X from my shoulder to my hip and from my shoulder to my hip. I will start with 4. Now, to keep things simple, I'm just going to call whatever parry I'm utilizing the cut to the same area. So when I cut to the high chest, to the 4 parry, that's a cut to 4. When I change and go to the opposite side of the body and cut low down here, that's a cut to 2. Up and around to cut 1, and back over the top to finish the last of the X points. That's a cut to 3. So an X in 4 begins in 4 and goes high, change sides low, up and around to finish off the last of the 4 points on the X to 3. All right? Bob, could you help me out with that? Great. We will get our distance. Here, I'm going to step in and extend and squeeze. Hit twice. Up and around to the other side and up and around. And then Bob's going to check that out. So I'm going to open up the target and he's going to extend in 4. He's going to trade sides to the other side and over here, and the last one's left is here. Good. One more time. I'm going to go high, so I'm extending palm up and squeezing. Up and around, keeping my upper arm extended and squeeze. Allow this to bend slightly, but keep the upper arm reaching. And squeeze and finish off with the last one. Extend and squeeze. And Bob once more. And high, low, low, high. Now Bob's just had 4 cuts in a row, so I think it's my turn. So I'm going to extend, all right, and cut his head. Good, and he's going to cut my head. Now it's my turn to cut X in 4. If you're doing well and the blade is alive in your hand and you're not turning it into this heavy club, you can try single cuts. High, low, low, high. Good. He's going to cut my head. I'm going to cut his head. There's our transition. Now it's his turn to cut X in 4. High, low, low, high. Let's try this on the angle so you can see it a little bit better. Once again, I will begin. Good. Now, keep it specific. I'm going to step into distance, and I'm going to extend. My whole arm is going to come the height that I want to be at, which is just under the shoulder, high. And I let this recoil, I'm going to do it again, Bob. I let this recoil lift me up and around to the other side. Low. Slight little bend in the arm, so the arm extends, and then the fingers squeeze, and the arm extends, and the fingers squeeze. Now, from right here, all I have to do is lift. Good. I extend again, 90 to 60. And it's Bob's turn. High. Notice how little I have to do. Lift the hand, the blades drop into place. Straight across. Drop the hand and the blade automatically sweeps the target area. Extend and here. All right? So X in 4. Start first with double hits and then go to single hits. When you can do the drill that we just practiced and have perfect cuts and perfect parries and step into and are aware of that perfect distance and make the necessary adjustments. If not, if the blade is alive in your hand and you're really focusing on minimal movement, remember, if you practice bad habits, you're going to perform bad habits. Right now, try to take away anything that's not helping you achieve the task at hand. You don't need to go around here, all right? From here, extend the arm, get the entire arm, the height you want the blade to be at, the blade will follow the arm. Keep it simple, keep it specific, because now we're going to move with it. Bob? First, we're going to start with simple footwork, the advance and the retreat. So we'll get our distance. Let's go over the X. And engage. So I have to step into distance. X in 4. I'm going to step in, single cut. Now, we've established our distance. He's going to move as I move. Low, low, high. Now, it's his attack, so he gets to advance. It's my attack, I get to advance. Good, and he's going to take me backwards with his 4 cuts. High, low, low, high, and on guard. Good. When you've got that, let's add the lunge. What I want you to do is lunge on the first cut and the last cut of your 4-cut series. So, from here, I'm going to begin by a lunge. Now, I don't have to step in because my lunge is going to carry me into distance. Lunge. When I recover forward, Bob is going to have to adjust, but he can't step out of distance. So as I come forward, he only adjusts just enough. A simple advance. This is my last cut, so I lunge again, and Bob will have to adjust his distance. It's Bob's attack, so Bob lunges, and I recover. It's my attack, so I lunge. Good, and now Bob cuts me with his 4 cuts. Recover. As he comes forward, I adjust. Retreat. Lunge, which is a slightly larger retreat. Then I lunge. Then Bob lunges. and we break distance into guard. All right? Let's take a look at that one last time on the angle, Bob. Good. So lunging on your first and your last. Now, Bob doesn't have a lot of room. If he runs out of room, I'm not going to just keep moving. I'm going to signal him and say, okay, you're out of room. Don't keep moving. So here we go. Recover, advance, lunge, 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 recovering back. Adjust, retreat, lunge, lunge, on guard. Keep it simple, keep it specific. If you're having trouble, if things are falling apart, go back a lesson. Go back and do just the drill in place without the movement. When you've got that, add simple movement, the advance, the retreat. When you've got that, bring back the lunge and the recovery. This is going to give you an awareness of distance. Slow down, be specific, do less. You're working on perfect cuts, perfect parries, perfect distance, and a real awareness of what's going on. Take your time. Now's your time to rehearse and have fun. Okay, gang, this one's for all the marbles. We're going to put together the top and the bottom at the same time. Now, the key is plan what you're going to do and then execute the plan. It doesn't count if you're just kind of moving around and throwing the blade out there. Be specific, keep it simple, relax, slow down. Be aware of the necessary adjustments. Really get a dialogue going with your partner. We're going to try and incorporate the drill that we did before, starting in with a lunge with the X and 4, and I want to add to it a pass forward and the balestra. Bob, if you would, please. So nice and slow, here's our distance. On guard, I'm going to begin with my lunge. I'm going to recover forward. I'm going to balestra or jump lunge, and I'm going to lunge here. Now when Bob attacks me, he's going to do a pass forward. So as he passes forward, I will pass back and have to retreat, but not out of distance. Good, then I will pass forward to attack Bob. Good, then we go back to what we did before, which begins with the lunge, X and 4, recover, balestra, and lunge. Good, now I will pass forward, and Bob will pass back. Hoo-ha. Let's do it again. And lunge, recover, balestra, lunge. Pass forward. I pass forward. Good. And lunge, recover, balestra, lunge, pass forward. Good. And pass back. That one's going to keep you busy for a while. If you're having problems, simplify. Take something out. Go back to just the lunge forward and back, then add the next element. Keep everything one simple adjustment. Don't lose what came before. First thing that goes when you speed up is technique. With technique goes specificity and your story and your safety. Practice. You've got a bright, shiny new parry. Let's work on something that's going to give you a chance to practice this. Also, I want to change the pattern you're working with. We've been working with our nice X and 4, high, low, low, high. I want to change that to an X and 3, which simply means the X begins on this side of the body. So I will be cutting shoulder, up and over to hip, up and over to hip, and back to the inside chest line. 3, 1, 2, and 4. Now, the big difference between this is how you defend. Here, when I'm parrying 4, I drop the hand, I lift the hand, I come straight across and drop the hand, and my blade is always sweeping and deflecting, clearing the target area. That's one of our primary safety factors that we've built in. In the X and 3, if I go from 3 to 1, I haven't cleared. So once again, I have to go from 3, lift the hand, the tip will drop, you just move straight across, very easy. If you prepare early, everything is easy. Straight across to 2. Now, I need to get up here to 4. This won't do it. So again, I come out here to 45 degrees and drop the hand and move straight across. Now, this is important. Don't be in such a hurry to get over here that you start cutting through your partner. Watch the tip. Our tip is always above our partner's face. That's why our on guard is I drop the hand, which lifts the tip. Another safety factor. Same thing here. When I'm in 3 and I go to 1, you're already in a 45-degree angle. Leave it out here until you've lifted the hand and prepared the blade. Now all you have to do is bend the arm. So it's safer and it's more efficient. Don't come across your partner's face. So 3, lift the hand at 45 degrees. Then move straight across, stop when your arm points at your partner. Straight back to 2. Remember to make sure that the hand is outside, the tip is outside the leg you're trying to protect. Good. Now to parry 4, again, don't come across your partner. Don't angle this tip and cut across their face. Instead, while you're out here at 45 degrees, drop the hand. If you drop the hand, the tip will automatically raise. It's above your partner's face by the time you clear the line. All right? Keep that in mind. And we'll do our head-head transition, which I will cut his head, he'll parry Sikh's, he will cut my head, and then I'm all set to cut for that X and 3. Let's get Bob in here and put this to work. Okay, now, first start with perfect cuts, perfect parries, perfect distance. So you're not going to move except your initial step to come into range. On guard. So I step, and I'm just going to practice my cuts. 3, up and around to 1, straight across to 2, and up and around to 4, always retracting my tip. Bob comes across, I simply lift, keeping this up so that the energy is deflected over my head. I come back to his, making sure I drop my hand first to straighten my arm and squeeze, and then Bob comes to me. 3, do this over here at 45 degrees. Straight across, drop the hand while the tip is still outside, then move straight across. And head, this time with movement. So when you've got that, make sure you're confident about your cuts and your parries. Make them as perfect as possible because now you're going to move and you can't worry about that now. Remember, we're trying to imprint muscle memory, which means you want to have a perfect pattern in your body so that your body knows it and your head doesn't have to think about it. You just go and protect the target. Right? So slow down. You have to develop this. It takes 10 perfect ones to erase a sloppy one. So don't ever just kind of throw the sword around. Make each one perfect now while you're working slow and you're relaxed and you're comfortable. So then when you speed up, your technique's going to be there. Your safety network is going to be there. All right, distance, simple advance. So I will step into distance here. Good. And from here we'll maintain distance. One advance at a time. It's Bob's turn. Bob comes to me. Good. Now if you've got that, add the lunges. So we're going to start from out of distance. My first lunge will bring me into distance. I'm going to lunge on my first and last of 4 cuts, just like the X and 4 drill. So I'm going to lunge here. I'm going to recover. Bob is going to maintain distance. I advance. Later on it can become a balestra. And here. Bob lunges. I lunge. Always dropping the hand first. Good. And high. Maintain the distance. And back off. All right? Same procedure. You'll notice everything is very sequential. That way, each change is one minor adjustment, and it's still supported by everything you've done before. Work on it. In order for you and your partner to get in time, to share a rhythm so that you're able to time your parry to the last second and time your cuts, because the two of you, in order to best tell your story, have to be working together. You want to have a common rhythm first, and then over that you can overlay your character rhythm. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. For right now, we've been working in a very basic 4/4 time. High, low, low, high. What I want to do is syncopate the rhythm by doubling up on one side. We're still in a 4/4 time, but I'm going 1, 2, and 3. All right? I'm doing a double cut on one side. So we're going to call this the high-low X in 4, meaning I'm going to start in 4. When I switch to the other side, I'm going to go both high and low in 1. Where I was going high and straight to low, I'm going to go high, high, low, then come back for the other one. And we'll do our head-head transition. All right? So from here, I will be parrying 4, moving across, 3, lifting the hand 2. And here's where you're going to want to get gravity to do the work for you. Let the sword do the work. It's perfectly happy to, Or you can try to work this. You'll get exhausted, you'll get very sloppy, you'll have a tendency, if you reach with the sword, you'll always go too far. If you move your hand, the blade comes along with it. Remember, this is an extension of you. It is not some foreign article. This is an extension of your arm. So allow gravity to do the work for you. You're going 4, drop your hand, lift your hand, and it'll all happen for you. Straight across to 1, cut the head. All right, our high-low X, let's get Bob in to help. Now again, we're going to start first with just the cuts without moving. So we'll work on perfect cuts, perfect parries. I will step into perfect distance, so I will go 4, 3, 2, 2, and I like to lower my body just a little bit to accent that. 1, good, Bob comes to me. 5, I go to him, there's our head-head transition, and then Bob cuts. High-low, X and 4. High-low, low, I cut his head, he cuts mine. When you have that and you're comfortable with it, and it's going to take a little adjustment mentally, slow down, take it easy. Again, it's very important, we're already in range, it's very important that you minimalize this. From here to here isn't a lot of work. Don't make it so. Straight across, he comes to me, I go to him, and once again here, 45 degrees, 4. All I have to do is move my hand straight across and then just lift my hand. The blade will fall into place. Straight across and extend, and here. When you've got that and you've kept your movement minimal, then add simple feet, advance and retreat. So from here, en garde, I will step in, and from here I'm going to go 2 quick advances. 1 advance, 1 retreat, and back. Bob will do the same. High, 2 quick advances, and back, and so on. Now, when you've got that, and you've got your feet under you, because remember, this is our foundation for our footwork. The simple advance, the weights in the center, the coiled springs ready to move you, the shock absorbers absorbing and dissipating the energy coming at you. When you've got that, let's add some of that good footwork we were just working on. So what we're going to do, start out of range, and I'm going to step in with an advance. Advance. Now I'm going to do a pass forward. And I'm going to touch the foot on each of these. Make sure you don't go beyond en garde, because your last move is a lunge. Then Bob lunges. Then I lunge. As he comes forward with his advance, I simply recover. Boom. Now when he passes forward, I pass back. We're both poised. We're both ready. Our distance is perfect. So when he lunges, boom, I come back, he comes back to me, and we're back out of distance. One last time, that one's a little tricky. Remember, it's advance, pass forward, lunge, recover, lunge, and advances, he passes forward, I pass back, lunge, and back to en garde. Practice, start slow. Build this into your body. Get used to the idea that when you come here, this move brings you back to en garde. Don't let your body get ahead of your feet. Stay in balance. You're going to find this one challenging. Enjoy it. Now, if we can overload one side for our high-low X and 4, we can do the same thing with a high-low X and 3. We'll begin the X and 3, and we will double up on the other side of the X over here. Now you're going to find, because it's half time, or double time really, okay, you're doing 2 strokes in what is normally a single count. You're going ta-ta, all right? You're going to have a lot of trouble going from a 4 to a 1. So just like on this side, we're going from a 3, lifting the hand and going to the 2, we're going to teach you another new parry, septime, number 7. It's the last one for now. 4. Now, what I'm going to do, just like over here, I lift my hand and the blade drops. Same thing here. I'm down here in the high line, my hand is low, so I lift my hand and the blade drops. Once again, my hand is up here. I have to release my fingers, just like in a sixth. You could think of this as rotating the tip of a sixth to outside my leg, or you can think in terms of just lift and the blade will drop. But this must cross over. The blade has got to be outside my rear leg and forward at a 45-degree angle. So it is in the same 45-degree angles. I just lift and allow the blade to drop. So high-low, X in 3 is 3, 4, lift the hand, 7, good. And then come straight across to your 2, pivoting the tip. Or if you prefer, you can bring this back up in center and drop it here. And I do because, as you'll notice, it's much flassier. Also, it allows you to bring the tip up and away from your partner and then lift the hand and it'll fall through here. So we're going to go 3, 4, lift the hand, keep the hand lifted and just allow the tip to lift and move the arm over 45 degrees. There's going to be your 2 with our head-head transition, working our Sixt again. This is starting to get complicated, but not really. You really only have one change, and that is the septime. The same principles we were working with is drop the hand for the high line, lift the hand for the low line. Same thing over here. Drop the hand for the 4, lift the hand for the 7. The blade is sweeping. You're going to lift up for your Sixt. You already know this. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. It's one simple adjustment with the same principles. The sword is always in front of you. The elbow is always behind the hand. You are always sweeping the target area. All right, let's give this a try. Bob? First, again, start very slowly and get the pattern in your head. So, from here, this is a high-low X in 3, meaning I step in and start in 3. Now I'm going to double cut on one side, so it's 4. Bob lifts his hand to parry 7. Good. Now because I'm going up and around, Bob can go up and around. So he lifts his tip to 2. Excellent. Now, it would be easier to parry a 5 here, but I want you to parry 6 anyway, just so you keep it in mind. So here I'm going to parry 6, and Bob is going to parry 6. Now you notice he's all primed and ready to start this X in 3. So 3 and 4, 7, straight across to 2, up to 6. Boom. Okay? You follow? So, after that, it's the same progression with movement as we had done before. I will step in and 3 simple advances, 4, 7, 2. Bob comes back to me. I come back to Bob. Good. And he moves me back. 3, 4, 7, 2, 6, 6, and then you can mix up the elements as you like. Make up your own piece of choreography. Plan it out. Work in the lunge, work in the padanando, the advance and lunge, the balestra, and work over the pass forward and the pass back. Mix it up. Become your own choreographer and enjoy it.